Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to go through a review for the FitBit Blaze. So it comes in this little box and this is what it looks like. So it has like the big screen on it. And I'm wearing it here, so I'm going to go through like the different functions on it and kind of use it towards like a fitness perspective rather than like a technical perspective. So just kind of to see how it would actually benefit like your fitness goals and stuff, or how it mightn't benefit your fitness goals. So I used to have a Fitbit before a couple of years ago. It was kind of one of the older versions. It was the Flex, I think it was. So it was literally just like a tiny little band. Didn't have a clock on it or anything, just like lights to show you your step count. So that's really all it done. It was your step and your step count and your sleep. Step count and your sleep. So that it worked at the time. Like it doesn't not work now, but I mean it done me for at the time. So like all I really wanted was to know my step count, but over a while I kind of wanted to know more about like my heart rate and my exercise intensities and stuff, but that older version didn't have those functions, so I stopped using it after about 6 months. And so I've had this one for 3 months now. I thought it was actually longer, but that just shows how much I actually use it. But I've had it for 3 months. I got it over Christmas with a 1 for all voucher. So the price wise, actually while we're on it, it ranges from about €180 up to 200, maybe a little bit over, depending on what shops you kind of go to. So I think, I'm not sure, like I've been thinking of getting one for ages, but I'm not sure if I only decided to get it because I actually had that voucher and I wasn't justifying like taking the money out of my own account to pay for it. So price wise it is expensive, so really if you're thinking about getting one, make sure it's really what you want rather than just getting it for the sake of having a watch, because it's probably not worth it. Okay, onto the functions. So I'm going to kind of split it up between steps, heart rate and exercise modes, sleep, and then like other extra functions. Okay, so number one is the step count. So really everyone knows Fitbit's for counting steps. The goal that's automatically set on the watch when you get it is 10,000 steps, so that is the recommended amount through many associations on what to get every day for not just physical benefits but for health benefits. So say like reduce your cardiovascular disease, reduce your diabetes risk and everything. So 10,000 steps a day is the goal for everyone. When it gets to 10,000 steps, it does this kind of really cool thing on the screen. It lights up and like starts vibrating, and a load of fireworks show up on the thing, just kind of say like, wow, congratulations, you reached the 10,000, which I thought was kind of cool because my other one didn't have a screen on it, so it was kind of just vibrated and it wasn't as exciting. Anyway, so the step count, I find it to be really accurate. I have held my arm like this and walked around reading it to see like if it counted my steps accurately, and it did. If I took 1 step it would count 1, if I took 3 it would count 3. However, my brother does have the exact same one and his one counts steps twice. So guys, stop it, stop messing, come on. So his one counts steps twice, so say if he takes 1 step it counts as 2, which is kind of inaccurate for him. Now Sam, I'm trying to film. So I do know in the settings that you can change like your stride length. So if you have like a long stride, it might count, the Fitbit will be counting it as 2, but you're actually only taking 1, so that could be the issue. I'm not sure if it was that or if it was a system issue or a watch issue or whatever, but anyways, my one does count accurately, I find. Also what it has is like a reminder every hour to get your 250 steps in that hour, just to kind of keep you active throughout the day, so you're not just sitting around for 6 hours and then you go for like a half an hour walk. It's actually to keep you active throughout the day. So sometimes I do kind of get up when it vibrates to let me know that I've like 150 steps left. Sometimes I ignore it, it really depends on the day. When you first get it, you kind of like get up every time because you're excited, you're like, oh, I can't wait to kind of get like all green on this, but then you kind of, I find that you kind of give up on that. but it really just depends on the day. Sometimes I do get up and then other days I'm just staying in bed. Secondly, on to heart rate and kind of exercise modes. So you can choose on the watch what exercise you're doing. If you're doing weightlifting, if you're doing spinning, if you're going for a walk, if you're walking on the treadmill, it lets you set each mode. So the only thing is it doesn't have built-in GPS. If you're going for a run outside, if you often run outside and want to track your kilometers and stuff, you can connect it to your phone's GPS, but I don't really run outside anyway, so it doesn't matter for me. But if that's a big thing for you, then, and you don't usually bring your phone while you're running, it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt. The heart rate monitor I find is actually really good. I really enjoy seeing kind of like my heart rate jump up and seeing like my resting heart rate throughout the day. So the only thing is I find that it is slightly inaccurate. Sometimes it doesn't pick up my heart rate at all when I'm doing exercise, which is kind of annoying because I wanted to count and see exactly how much I'm burning and stuff, or how high my heart rate has gone, but sometimes it just literally just cuts out and it's just not there. Generally I find that if I'm doing like cardio for a long period of time that it starts to not pick it up. I'm not sure if that's just because it's sweaty and it's not actually reading it properly, or if it's because the watch just is not able to deal with it. Otherwise though, I find that it does pick it up. You do have to have it tightened really tight around your wrist. They say to recommend like tightness that you can fit like 2 fingers in through the band, but I think that when I have mine like that, it doesn't actually count it, so I really have to tighten it like up to nearly the last where it's squeezing my wrist for it to pick it up the heart rate constantly. But that can be also uncomfortable for some people, so it really depends that side as well whether it's worth it. So when you pick a certain exercise mode, it will run until you tell it to stop. It will take your heart rate and it will then use the heart rate to count how many calories you've burned. So when you sync that up to the app, Sam, go lie down please. So when you pick that up on the app and you sync it, so it'll show you. I'll see if you can read this. So let me see, will you? There we go. So it'll show what kind of exercise you picked. So there's spinning, and then there's my walks, and then there's my workouts. So it'll break it up to fat burn, cardio, and then your high intensity part, or your max. So then you click into it, say this is my spinning. I think it's my spinning. It is my spinning. So it'll show your heart rate the way it went through the whole way. So then my max was 185. It'll show how long you are in each stage, and then how many calories you have burned overall, which I think is pretty cool. I like seeing it. I like seeing all the stats. I think if you are interested in the stats behind everything, that's a bonus for you. But if you don't really care about the stats, then you don't really want to be getting a Fitbit, to be honest. Okay, number 3 is the sleep tracking. I love the sleep tracking. It's actually so accurate. It uses your heart rate, as far as I'm aware, to track whether you're sleeping. So when you're sleeping, obviously your heart rate is the lowest that it's going to be, and that's how it picks up whether you're sleeping or not. If you get up during the night, it will pick it up because your heart rate raises as soon as you get out of bed. It'll show you how long you're in deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, which is the dreaming kind of state. That is picked up, as far as I know, is you move a lot more when you're in REM, so the watch just picks up the movements, so it'll kind of count it that way. I find that I didn't really know how much I was sleeping. Like obviously when you go to bed at 12, you wake up at 8, you think you have 8 hours sleep, but you know, do you ever get those times where you thought you slept 9 hours, you wake up and you are still wrecked, you're dead, you feel like you didn't sleep at all? The watch actually picks it up, because like you might be sleeping for 9 hours time wise, but if you wake up, like you actually wake up a lot during the night, so it minuses all that from it, so you could end up actually only sleeping say 7.5 hours. To other then, well, like my other category, so these are like not included in the main functions really. It's kind of like extra bits that you can use. So it has a timer and a stopwatch, which are handy when you're doing your own workouts, and you're, say like if you're doing a HIIT session and you need like 30 seconds and then 30 seconds rest, that kind of thing. So they have it on the watch. They also have an alarm clock. It's a silent alarm, so the watch vibrates when the alarm goes off, which I thought wouldn't actually wake me up, but I've used it since I have got the Fitbit in December, and it actually does work really well. You wouldn't think that small like vibration would wake you, but it does, so I find that really handy. It's a little bit nicer than waking up to like this really loud annoying noise, which might be necessary for some people to get out of bed, but I like the silent one more. It also has like a built-in kind of trainer as such, so you can do like a 10-minute ab workout and it'll show you the exercises on the watch. I don't use it, to be honest. I've never actually even gone into it, just because it would be worth it for like beginners who don't really know anything about exercise, but I do know exercise. Well, I'd want to be knowing about exercise 3 years into my degree, so I don't really use it myself. They also have a relaxation mode, so it kind of just vibrates telling you to breathe in and breathe out to make sure that you get deep breaths. I thought it would be a really good idea, because sometimes like when you get stressed you just need to breathe, but I've actually never used it since I thought it was a good idea. Then lastly, just to finish off, it does count your calories obviously overall throughout the day. It includes your TDEE, which is the amount of calories that you burn throughout the day, not including any exercise, so just by like living, walking to the fridge maybe. And that, so I think that's really handy. I never really understood how many calories I was burning in a day until I actually got the Fitbit. I burned so much more than what I thought, so if you're kind of interested in that side of it, it might be a good idea to get one. And then the last thing, although I said it was the last thing already, the last thing, I can't remember. The last few things are then the battery life on it. It says it lasts up to 5 days without charging. Mine only lasts about 3. I do use it a lot. I'd use it every time I exercise. I'd have the watch. I check my screen a lot to see what my heart rate or my steps are often, so it really just depends on the amount of usage that you have on the watch, I suppose. But if that, it doesn't bother me, because I'm at home charging everything anyways. Like, I charge my phone, I charge my watch at the same time, so it just depends on if you don't have the time to be charging it and you just want to have it for the week. It just depends on that. So then you also, on the app, you can make friends, you can send friend requests to people and kind of compare steps and do challenges and everything, which is a good idea to start off with. I did use it for quite a while, but then I've kind of stopped the last few weeks. So overall, I love it myself. I have used it every day since I got it. There's a little few things that might change. Oh, I forgot to mention that it does give you notifications for your text messages. It also allows you to change music if you have it connected through Bluetooth, but you can't pick a song, but you can just choose like next and that kind of thing. The app doesn't allow bringing Facebook messages in or like WhatsApp messages, as far as I know. It only uses text messages from the actual phone itself, which is kind of annoying because I don't actually use text that often, but otherwise it does work pretty well. So anyways, to finish off, yes, I would recommend, guys, what are you doing? I would recommend getting the Fitbit if you are interested in all the stats behind everything, if you want to know how many calories you burned, how hard you're working throughout your workout, and that kind of stuff. I use mine every day, like I said, but then again, so it really just depends on if you want to pay the price is number one, and if you really are interested or not in all the extras behind it. So I hope that this review helped. I think it was a little bit rambly and I'm not sure if it made sense, but anyways, I hope it did help, and let me know what you think or what you thought. Anyways, I'm gonna finish off this video now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.